In the early years of World War II, combat experience on the North African front clearly exposed the limitations of the British Army's traditional towered artillery. These guns could not keep pace with the mobility of armored units and were vulnerable in highly mobile warfare environment. As a result, the urgent need for a self-prepared artillery system capable of rapid deployment and effective support for armored assault formations became a top priority. Initial solutions like the Bishop self-propelled gun were developed to meet this demand but faced significant drawbacks in range and flexibility. Meanwhile, the American M7 Priest, offering stronger firepower and temporarily accepted by the British Army, created logistical challenges due to ammunition incapability. In response, the Sexton self-propelled gun was developed as a fully integrated solution, combining mobility, firepower, and logistical efficiency, thereby enhancing the British Army's mobile artillery strength in modern warfare. The development of the Sexton I self-propelled gun began with the British Army's need for a vehicle armed with a 25-pounder gun similar to the M7 Priest. Canada, utilizing its Ram tank production line based on the American M3 Lee chassis, leveraged its industrial capacity to meet this demand, demonstrating a key role in the Allied war effort. The Canadian Army Engineering Design Branch developed the Sexton using the Ram chassis and arranged the 25-pounder gun with the driver's position on the right to accommodate the left offset gun placement. The prototype was completed swiftly in June 1942, showcasing technical capability and wartime adaptability. After testing in Canada, the Sexton was sent to Britain for evaluation and was officially accepted in May 1943, marking the start of mass production. The name Sexton followed the British tradition of naming self-propelled guns after church titles. Canada produced approximately 125 Sexton I units based on the Ram chassis before transitioning to the Sexton II, which used the Grizzly chassis, a variant of the M4 Sherman. Total Sexton production reached over 2,000 units by 1945, reflecting the effective cooperation and adaptation among the Allies during the war. The Sexton I self-propelled gun was designed to be operated by a 6-member crew, including a commander, driver, gunner, main loader, assistant loader or elevation, transverse operator, and a radio operator. The vehicle's combat weight was approximately 25.85 tons, 25,854 kilograms, with overall dimensions measuring 6.12 meters in length, between 2.71 and 2.72 meters in width, and about 2.4 meters in height. These dimensions were consistent with other self-propelled guns of the era, balancing operational capability and mobility. In terms of mobility, the Sexton I was powered by a Continental R975 gasoline engine, a 9-cylinder radial air-cooled unit producing 400 horsepower, 298 kilowatts. This engine enabled the vehicle to reach a maximum speed of about 40 kilometers per hour on flat terrain and around 32 kilometers per hour over varied terrain. The suspension system employed vertical volt spring suspension, VVSS, commonly used on M3 and M4 tanks, providing stability and flexible operation across diverse environments. The Sexton I had an impressive operational range of 200 to 233 kilometers on a single fuel load, along with a fording depth of approximately 1 meter, allowing it to perform effectively in a variety of combat conditions. The main armament of the Sexton I was the QF 25-pounder Mk2 gun with a caliber of 87.6 millimeters, the standard field gun and howitzer of the British Army. The vehicle could carry between 105 and 112 rounds, including high explosive HE, smoke, and armor-piercing AP shells. The gun had a maximum elevation of plus 40 degrees and a depression of negative 9 degrees, combined with a horizontal traverse of 25 degrees to the left and 15 degrees to the right. This allowed the Sexton to engage targets indirectly from concealed positions and quickly switch targets with a certain arc without moving the entire vehicle. In addition to the main gun, the Sexton I was equipped with two light Bren machine guns chambered in 0.303-inch 7.7mm, supplied with a total of 50 magazines, each holding 30 rounds for close-range air defense and self-protection. Regarding protection, the Sexton I's armor was primarily designed to shield the crew from small arms fire and shell fragments rather than direct anti-tank fire. The whole front armor ranged from 50.8mm to 76.2mm thick, side armor from 31.75 to 63.5mm, and rear armor measured 38.1mm. The lower hull front armor was 25.4mm thick, with the rear at 12.7mm. The fighting compartment had thinner armor, with 19mm at the front and 12.7mm on the sides and rear. The vehicle featured an open-topped fighting compartment to enhance visibility and ease of gun operation, fitting its role as a mobile artillery platform on the battlefield. Overall, the Sexton I's specifications reflected a balanced design, combining the powerful firepower of the 25-pounder gun, flexible mobility from a strong engine, and stable suspension, and sufficient protection to ensure crew safety in combat. This configuration enabled the Sexton I to effectively support main battle tank units, strengthening the mobile artillery capabilities during wartime. The Sexton I self-propelled gun began to be deployed in September 1943, with approximately 125 units mainly assigned to Canadian forces. This version allowed Canadian artillery regiments to gain valuable experience operating dedicated self-propelled artillery, playing a key role in the development of artillery doctrine and tactics. The Sexton first saw combat in Italy during the period from 1943 to 1945, notably during the offensive across the Gothic Line in 1944. Later, this artillery piece participated in the Normandy landings in 1944 and the intense battles in France, where it was widely used with the 21st Army Group. In the final phase of the war, the Sexton served in Belgium, the Netherlands, and West Germany, supporting infantry and armored units in the Northwest Europe campaigns. The Sexton's design was reliable and as mobile as the Sherman tank, equipped with the effective 25-pounder gun. It was primarily used for indirect fire support, working closely with forward observation officers to ensure accurate targeting and preserve equipment during combat. The presence of the Sexton contributed to a firepower advantage and boosted the morale of Allied forces, while also exerting psychological pressure on the enemy. The Sexton I self-propelled gun was developed to meet the urgent need of the British Army for a mobile self-propelled artillery piece equipped with a standard 25-pounder gun. Developed in Canada on the ramp tank chassis, the Sexton I combined reliable firepower, good mobility, and a 6-person crew. Although produced in limited numbers and primarily serving within Canadian forces, the Sexton I played a significant role in campaigns in Italy, Normandy, and Northwest Europe, mainly performing indirect fire support missions. The Sexton I and subsequent Sexton models strengthened Allied artillery by providing mobile and effective firepower while fitting the logistics of Commonwealth forces. Sexton I was an important stepping stone that paved the way for the larger scale Sexton II, becoming a cornerstone of wartime mobile artillery systems. The success of the Sexton demonstrated effective industrial cooperation between Britain and Canada. The Sexton's legacy was confirmed by its long service in many post-war armies. It overcame the limitations of predecessors, self-propelled guns like the Bishop and optimized logistics compared to the M7 Priest. As a pioneering model, the Sexton I holds a vital place in the history of armed weapon development during World War II.